Good morning. Good morning. Uh, Getting everything situated. All right. This month has been pretty a learning experience trading large caps for the first time, pretty much consistently. When I did trade large caps when I first started, I was just taking a little bit and not really data focused, right? But this month, I was able to dig out of the hole, and pretty much this is a break even month for me. You know, I wasn't excited losing money on that one small cap trade that I took because I broke rules in it. It was a trade that I shouldn't have taken on the month. And so, I was like, okay, let's just get back on board, continue to find the things that I've been successful at finding, and go from there. So I think that great learning experience. I will be sizing up on large caps more and more now. But let's jump over here to the scans. To the scanners. And this morning, what I'm seeing on my top 50, I got INFN, DJT, and I'm pretty sure that's the Donald Trump stock that has been moving up during the debates. MLGO has been a runner without catalyst for several days, but now today, very low volume out there on it. Only 328 thousand shares. And then under that, we see P Fun. I thought that one was going to go kind of crazy, but it just didn't. It went crazy during pre-market, but didn't have any catalysts. I did not trade that one. I've been trying to 100% stick with catalyst stocks, and those have been giving me the most success. So, when I take one without a catalyst, I'm like, ooh, I took it without my variable. I'm pretty much just swinging for the fences, right? And I used to say it can be a catalyst, good or bad. But what I've noticed is, for the most part, the good ones have been working out. So I really haven't traded a bad catalyst to the long side because it usually doesn't hold up the levels that I want. Looks like I'm about to get stopped out of one of my dividend stocks. It actually went below the point during pre-market, which is AGNC. It has been paying me out that dividend, beautiful little dividend, but it looks like I'm going to get stopped out, and it has already covered what the stop out price is going to be. I actually bought this at 9.70, looking for it to go up to 10, but it has dropped, and I risked 20 cents on these 400 shares. So what was the risk? I think it was $80, I believe. 400 times 20, yeah, $80. But it's already paid me almost $100 in dividends. So either way it goes, if it stops me out today, that will just be money back in my pocket to reinvest into another dividend stock. And I'll keep this one on watch to get back in at a later time. But this is where I'm sitting on it right now. Let me brighten this screen up because I'm blind. It actually broke where my stop is, which is the 950. That's that's the 20 cent mark. My average price was 970. If it comes back down here, it'll stop me out today. If it does want to trade and continue to stay over the 950s, great. On the higher time frames, on here, this is the $10 level I was looking for it to break. It's tested this level and just could not break it. So I don't know if it's gonna stay up, great. If not, oh well. The 50 cents, I actually had it at 925, and then I moved it up to right under the 950s, and I kind of just stuck with that. I don't like moving back against it because I feel like I'm breaking rules, letting it run against me even more. Even though it's paying a great dividend, 400 shares is paying me 12 cents per share. So it's like $50 a month. And I'm like, I'll take that. I will take that. But I've been holding it for what, 3 months? 4 months? I don't even know when I got into this, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, that's that. The stock that I traded yesterday was, let me jump over here to day trade, was VRNA. This one. This one, I kind of broke rules on this one because it was only up like 3%. When I looked at it, I thought it was a larger cap, and I didn't trade it as if it was a small cap, and I let it drop against me, not knowing it was a small cap. So I actually waited the first 30 minutes. It slammed down into this area, 1488s or whatnot. I was like, okay, cool. And then it came back up here, and I added into this level here of the 510s, and it slammed back down on me. And I was like, oh man. But I thought it was a large cap. I don't know what made me think this was a large cap. Maybe it was just the name being, I thought it was a big pharmaceutical company. But yeah, it dropped against me. If I would have known this was a small cap, I definitely would have cut it. But it came back up and came back all the way out here. And I was looking for 15/15s to hold. My average price was. Am I showing y'all the right screen? I'm not showing y'all the right screen. Okay. My fault. We're gonna go and get over here. Okay. So average price. Oh, it didn't auto import my trades yet. Okay, whatever. All I know is I got in here at 1509 was my average price. That's what it was. 1509. And then it came down and dropped on me, and I was like down like 250. But my max loss was 500 on the day. It did not get there, so it was like 250. So I was like, oh, I'm cool. I had 515 shares in here, and then it rolled up. And I really wish I would have caught this move, but when it got to this point, this is when it actually met my small cap kind of criteria for relative volume and things like this. So I wish I would have just waited, but I got in early looking for the break to see if it can get through there. It did not. It did not, but it was still a green trade. It's still a green trade. So sold majority around that. Once we got over the 15/15s, I was like, okay, if it holds here, I'm just going to keep trailing my stop up. And this splash down right here got me. I took a little bit at 1520, but I was kind of like, maybe it's gonna, keep going through this ATR, but that ATR proved to be fatal for this time period. So I was like, okay, whatever. Take the green, get on out. Let me see. Back over here to the scans though. DJT is coming up, getting up there above that 10 percentile. And it says it has an ATR of $4.27. I don't know how I actually need to go and look at how the debates have been going. I've seen like memes and things like that of Biden and Trump going at it, but I really haven't really paid attention to it that much. But it could move like a meme stock. Oh, look at AGNC getting back up there. Getting back. Hopefully it gets over 60s. Gets 10 cents away from that stop and continues to pay me dividends. But we'll see on the open. Hopefully it doesn't crash out. I gotta import my trades though. Forgot. So basically with TraderSync, you have to just a button. You click latest trades and it imports your latest trades into TraderSync. But I have not done that and I didn't realize it. DJT may be interesting today. It almost has 5 million shares traded. I don't see anything else that's really competing except Nike dumping through the ground. If you're a Nike fan, and it pays a dividend. Let me go check out Nike's dividend. What kind of dividend do you pay out, my brother? Ooh, almost closed that. Dividend for Nike. That would have been bad. All right, so Nike dividends. What you got? $1.48. And where did it crash to? $79. So $1.48 per share. I mean, I do have lower ones that give me more than that, like AGNC. Interesting. Let me look at AGNC again, see how it compares. $1.48, $1.44, but AGNC is $9. So, and it has a dividend yield of $14.94 rather than something like Nike, which is $79. And oops, dividend. And it has a dividend history of, or a dividend yield of 157. That's not even beating the interest rate right now. Interest is higher, would eat up your dividend on this one. So, you know, I'm like, it's okay. But for the price though, it's like, I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah, Nike is dumping. It is down 15% right now. Let's look at its charts. Whew, okay. Nice little burial from right at $100 all the way down to 79. Let's look at the larger time frame. This one has kind of been a sickly stock for a while. It was going up and had a peak up there. It looks like $179, but you know, has pretty much given all of that back. So I don't really know about that one. I don't know if that one's worth it. It'll be worth it to somebody because Nike's been around for a long time. They have a strong brand name. They still have commercials that come on when we have like Super Bowls and things like that. So, you know, you can't completely count them out. They're always very innovative. But how much Nike can you really have? Let's see what else is down here swimming with the fishes. Nike, Chewy. I remember I saw Chewy pop up yesterday. Somebody said Roaring, what's his name? Roaring Skittles. Roaring Skittles said something about Chewy, and it popped up here from $27 all the way to 39 and just crashed out. Let me go look into the news on that. I really didn't. I saw it. I just didn't look into it. Chewy. Let's see. Press releases. The Pets Table now available at Chewy, offering premium pet food options to a wider audience. Chewy announces 500 million repurchase of shares. So they bought back some of that. Wait, shares from BC Partners. Who is BC? Buddy Chester Sub LLC. They bought shares from them. Repurchase an aggregate of 17,550,000 shares of its Class A common stock, par value 0.1 cent per share, at a price per share of $28.49. So right now it's at $28.41. So it shot up quite a bit, but definitely didn't hold anything. And I didn't see anything about Roaring whatever his name is in the regular news. That's a press release from the company. Let's go to the regular news. Let's see. Rule breaker investing. Interesting. Chewy put calls. Plans share repurchase. Yeah, it's all trash. All right. So back to the scans. I really just want to find something that's either on continuation for the week, or it is it has news on today. That's what I'm really interested in. So let's start with the top gappers. INFN. I'll go ahead and drag this one down. We'll keep DJT on the watch since it is up 10%. Then everything else I'm not too interested in because it's not a big gapper. Maybe if it gets a little active after the open, it'll be something there. But let's go and look at these two. INFN. Press releases. All right, June 17th, Infinera DZS and Calnix successfully demonstrate 5G mobile X-Hall with open XR point to multi-point optics in European Open Test and Integration Center in Torino. Digicel deploys this series of for Deep Blue and one subsea cable system. They got some stuff going on. Let's go look at their profile. IN, see what they actually do. Infinera Corporation manufactures semiconductors. Okay, that makes sense. Yesterday, I saw a stock moving called SMCI. I believe SMCI. It's like a super expensive semiconductor stock, and it has been going crazy. It has a super big range. A lot of people, like regular people, I've seen them trading like 1 share, 2 shares because it moves so big. This is it right here though. So it moved from 838 all the way to 898. So think about that chop. How much pain would you have to sit through in any kind of chop in this thing? Moved from 835 up here to 863, then chopped around here between 860s and 847. So a $20 chop range in here. How do you set a stop on that? Well, you take 1 share and hope it doesn't go down $30. It has a ATR of $61.11 over here. And it has very little volume on the days that it does trade. It is a large cap, but it has a smaller float. I'll be assuming because it has the shares 58 million. So I'm assuming it's got a smaller float. Back over here to Infinera though. Semiconductors, I will keep that one on watch to see what it wants to do on the day. If it can get a little bit more volume, only sitting with 3 million shares right now. Let's go to its statistics, or actually let's read into here and see if it has any other keywords. Semiconductors, does it have AI in here? Communication service providers. Company also offers Infinera 7300 series. Anything else? Optics. Okay, it was incorporated in 2000 and is headquartered in California. So it's an American-based company as well. Interesting. I wonder if they're moving on sentiment with all of these semiconductor stocks that have been moving up. I don't know, but I'll keep it on watch. Also, DJT making its way back over the 40. Back over the 40s here. Came down, had quite a nice ride down. It formed what's this called? A dragonfly pattern, or dragonfly is on top. This be a dragonfly? I think this is a dragonfly pattern here. This candle on the 15-minute, and then got a little reversal. We'll see if it can hold above these levels though. 39.65s is where it made that pattern at. So I kind of zoned this out. What is this? 39.35, and then the top of this candle was 39.84, and that's on the 15 minutes. So now we have to check the higher time frames for it. Jump over here to the monthly. Closed yesterday at 36. 36. I'm gonna get rid of the rest of these. I don't really know exactly why they're up there, but probably because I just left them on there. Remove, all of that. The marks that I just made were right in here. So let's look on the monthly and see if there's any clear marks that it could get over. We had a previous month that it got pushed down to this level of the 41.34. That could be a level. Let's see. All of these are looking like the bottom of what was the first original move out to 175. Drop back down here to this level. And we'll go to the lower time frame in just a minute. Just looking and seeing what it could actually attack. So 41.47 will be the first wall that it would have to hit. Okay, let's go to the weekly. And we got a little bit of chop around this level. What is this? 44s. 44, a little choppy indecision making here for what, 3-4 weeks. So could be a spot through there. And then the next one's like 53, so that's on up. I don't know if it'll reach that, but could be some possible resistance. Anyway, so looking at this, let's see. Got several levels in here. We had a hanging man formation right here, which is usually bearish. Did go down, and then a big pop back through that level of that hangman. Interesting movements on the weekly. All right, let's jump to the daily. And this is where my ATRs are. That's the little lines you see out there showing the ATR highs on those days, ATR lows. And I'm usually looking for them to trade around the greens so we can get that push out if they meet the rest of the criteria. But, after the day passes, it just looks like a big kind of mess of lines. But on the day of, that's when it's really effective. Yeah. So close 36, and it'll be opening around this $40 level, the top side. So it did open above this previous red 39s. Okay, see what that does. I'll just leave those levels there that I got. Looking on the main, this is the levels that was marked 41.34 that is coming up to. Then it has the next level is way up there based on the larger time periods, but it is showing a little bit of resistance at that 41, pulling back a little bit. We'll see if it can crash through that. But yeah, right now it's got a zone that it's got to make a decision. Where does it want to go? It is 8:16. We have about 14 minutes to the bell. Basically, what I'm looking for when I'm looking back at those higher time frames is obvious places that people be like, oh, that's super obvious on this chart. Because I don't know what chart people are using. That I don't know if they're just using the monthly. I know when I'm doing dividend trading, I only look at the monthly. So, some people only look at, and like now, I don't look at the 1 minute, 2 minute, or anything under the 15 minute. I look at the 15 minute to start my thesis or to end the thesis and to do entries. So it is showing a little bit of rejection off of this level. Doesn't mean it's over though. And we'll see if it can hold above this $40 level where this pattern, I think this is a dragonfly. Let me check. I believe that's a dragonfly though. It is called a Takuri candlestick. That's what it is. Takuri. Let me make sure it's not another one that looks like that. That's called a dragonfly. Maybe the dragonfly is up top on the move. That is a dragonfly candle. It's either called dragonfly or Takuri. Yeah. Interesting. Both of them are bullish though. And both of them Takuri has a 78% chance of reversal. And then a dragonfly has 72% chance of reversal. And so now, wow, got a little bit of rejection, right? Trying to get to that level, pulling back. And to be an engulfing candle, it would need to engulf the entire body of this candle right here. Get back below, maybe 40, 35-ish level. But yeah, that was definitely a reversal signal right there. But I don't trade pre-market anyway, and I give it the first 30 minutes of the day to play out, shake out weak hands, and then I'm looking for these patterns in here to show up. Patterns that everybody knows. When you're at church and somebody's they're doing scriptures or something, they're like, everybody knows this, and then you're like, no, everybody doesn't know that. It's the same way in the market with these patterns. It's like, no, everybody doesn't know the patterns. Oh boy. Coming on down, forming an engulfing candle here. If it can close below the body of this previous candle, it will engulf this complete candle. We have about 10 minutes left, and it is looking like it wants to engulf it, but we'll see. So we had two reversal patterns. We had one bullish into a bearish after it hit a major level on the high. Where did this 41 come from? It came from, was it the monthly? I don't even know where it came from. 41.34. I should have marked them. A lot of times I want to mark them, but it just takes so much time and I get bored. 41. Oh, right in here. 41. This little candle would have got shoved down. That's where I got it from. 41.70 something. 41.50s. Interesting. It did an engulfing candle. Completely swallowed up the previous candle. And so that's telling us it still has a lot of idea that it needs to go downwards. But this is pre-market data, so we don't know what the intra-market true volume coming in is going to look like. So it could all be a lie, but you know, we don't know that. We just go with what we see, what candles, how they close. If it closes down here, it's going to be a engulfing. Like this one, oh wow, really getting on down there. This one closed as a bullish signal. So that's what I kind of look for, is those closes to do an entry. And sometimes I miss moves because, you know, I'm like, well, it needs to close and it just goes. I'm like, in that situation, I'm like, well, there's always another one. It did absolutely engulf it, getting back down to this level here. So I marked these two levels as the high and low of this bullish pattern to see how it's going to hold above this level of the 39.80s. And then it has the bottom side down here to the 39.27s, getting on down here to this level though. And touching it, touching, and cracked it a little bit. Is it done? We got about 8 minutes to the open. Still up 8% on this one. It's got the highest volume so far, other than Nike. So definitely some people over here looking at it out of pre-market. Got a nice test on the top side of that bullish level. And let's see where this candle closes. Either way it goes, if it closes under this, it's still an engulfing candle, which we will have to wait for a bullish signal to enter for a move higher. Because right now it's all bearish. This is a bearish engulfing candle. You know, the more patient the more I practice my patience, the better. It just like I could just watch these and not be tempted to be like, oh man, I need to get in right here. I need to do this. I need to do that. No, it needs to do what I want it to do. And then I'll hit the buy button. Then we'll see where it goes. Give me a nice bullish pattern that big money knows. Don't you know, cheapskate me and be faking and shaking. I want to get a actual pattern that's known by a lot of people. So let's see what we got. Let's see. Anything else we got here? Pretty much just these two. INFN not looking the greatest. Kind of looking like it's in just consolidation here. So DJT is going to be the main watch out of the open. We'll see if it can form another engulfing candle to the upside. But that's a lot of work to get back up to that 41. May need to form a spring before it can jump. So let's see what's happening. Well, look at that jump up there. Boy, all the way back up into that previous candle. So if it closes like this, this would invalidate the engulfing candle, right? So we were like, okay, well, if it takes out everything engulfing, but now the story is changing. It came down here and tested the point that was a bullish signal and jumped off of it. So interesting. We have 5 minutes until the bell. I'll go a little bit more so y'all can see where the ATRs kind of line up on DJT. ATRs don't change that much during the day, so they kind of stay stagnant. Once you have them, you kind of know the zones, but I'll just show y'all that once we get to the open here in like 4 minutes. SMCI still going up on low volume. That's some big range, man. Jumping up there 40, 50s and then jumping right down. That's crazy. Somebody's getting jostled here, if that's the word. 3 minutes left to the open, and now it's looking like it's going to be closing as engulfing again. Can it get back to the 40s is the question. Another jump back up. Okay. Definitely switching up the whole bearish mentality though. 40, 35s. Okay. About 3 minutes left until the open. Can it continue to hold these 40, 35s for a green move out of the open? Based on this candle, we got our bounce, bullish bounce. We got a retest of that zone of the bullishness. And so, I'm thinking the idea is changing, switching over. Good morning, Mike D. Good morning, everybody that is tuning in. We're doing a little bit of analysis on DJT this morning. As it bounces around, it's got the highest volume of 4 million shares. And we just kind of been looking at the different patterns that it's been forming out of the morning. But yeah. Oh, diving back to 40s. Looking like it's going to be closing like we said and engulfing. And the thing is, the way I look at it is all these 15-minute candles are liars until they close. And so now this candle will be coming into the close of this. It's got what, 1 minute 49 seconds, and it's back within this zone that was bullish. Now it's flipping the idea down here. So let's see how it closes. If it closes in this zone, I'm thinking it's pretty bearish. Only up 7% now as well. The SPY is also looking like it's coming down a bit. Let's jump over here to see what the SPY is doing. And let me look at the beta score. DJT does not have a high beta, so it really doesn't care about the SPY. But this is the SPY right now. It was up at what? Took a little stab up there at 550s, had bodies down here at 548s, and now it's down to the 546. So definitely some bearish sentiment coming into the market, but DJT doesn't have a high beta, so it doesn't really follow the market like that. It's going to do what it wants. Right now, what it wants to do looks bearish. 40 seconds until the open, 45 seconds. Retesting this zone again. Under the 40s. Is it going to completely go through the zone? The break of the 39.33 is definitely going to be really bearish. It's 20 more cents a drop. I have to close this candle, and at this point I don't really know what it wants to do, because it shouldn't, if this is a real pattern, a real bullish pattern, it shouldn't return to this zone like this and just sit around in here like it's just on vacation. There's the open, and there's the splash down through the bottoms. These are the ATRs. This is the full ATR high up here at the 40.76. This is the regular bullish ATR, and you can see the where the actual prices are: 40.75, 40.27, and then the bearish one right here, this little pink one, is the where the idea of bearishness starts for me, and then full bearish is where it's at now, all the way through this 38.80 dropping. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. But it's got this big zone right here that it once was in and is jumping back up to. But this candle's got to close. That's the thing. I don't really trade candles when they're punching around and stuff like that. I want to see it close. Show me that it is going to possibly resolve to be a pattern that everybody knows, and then I'm in. You know, and that's it. Looking over here on INFN, it took a dive down as well. Or no, it didn't. My screen just updated. Okay, so it's got an ATR high up here of the 6, and it's up 19%. Has an ATR high of 631. It is around a bullish ideal right now between these two ATRs. The first one is where the bullish ideal starts, and then up here is the full bullish. So we'll see if it gets up there. And you can see the prices here. So full bullish, this is the zone. So I'd actually mark this as a zone. This is the bullish idea zone. If it dives from here, I would want it to come back into this zone to think it's bullish again, right? So that's kind of how I play those. Let me zoom out because my eyes are hurting. Okay, but it still looks like it's pretty good consolidation in here. We'll see what happens. Hasn't tested the bearish side yet, which is a good thing, because that can sometimes mean indecision. DJT still under the bearish ATR, so I'm thinking it's bearish. Now sometimes we have a rare occasion where they do come back and they catch momentum during the latter parts of the day and they run back through all of the ATRs and become bullish. Those I'm just like, oh well. I like them to show me that they're bullish from the get-go and then continue being bullish, not show me they're bearish and then somehow miraculously move through everything. But anyway, back up to INFN, back up around this bullish area, but it needs to close the first 30 minutes first. So I usually give those times to play and show me that it's actually bullish over the 631s. And if it can hold that level, over that level though, it'll be up 20%. It'll be hitting a lot of scans. Right now it has 5 million shares traded. If we look over here on the scanners, we can see that it is abnormal. Relative standard deviation is 2 times the norm. Relative volume is 2 times normal days trading volume. So I like to see that. And you can see all these other ones, DJT and all these, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Where are the cancerous stocks? Nike is moving down with 12 million shares, but this is the only one that I'm seeing right now that is a cancerous stock. So let's jump back over here. It is still in the bullish area in this first 15 minutes and just letting it form. It doesn't even have a pattern in this zone, so I really don't trust it. If I have a zone, I want to see a pattern form here that, you know, lets me know big money is here. But there is no pattern right now in the 15-minute. And I know 15-minute, you have to be a little bit more patient, but it works out for me. I'm like, hey, if it's working for my system, cool. I don't have the mental capital to be on a 1-minute chart trying to wait for a 1-minute pattern to form when I can see these that once they resolve big usually. DJT continue to dump down. So we're looking at INFN being the top one on the day, but it is looking like it hasn't made a decision. It's got to form a pattern. So I would just say, you know, be patient. Looking at the larger time frame though, let's see if we can jump over here and quickly to maximize the yearly. So during had a run up here from what 5s all the way up here to 25. came back down to this level, had another run up. It's been down to this level a couple of times based on the monthly. Right now, though, this is what it's looking like. So this is the previous high that it had of 665. I can throw that out there. That's an obvious point. But it did face some type of indecision around this. What is this? 675. Some type of indecision came in here. And then another doji. I kind of look at for those dojis. Where do people kind of get where they, didn't really know what to do here? But as far as all of that, we'll see what happens for it. Looking for obvious levels of indecision, basically. Previous level 755. But we'll see. Just marking up the chart. And of course, this is relative. This may not even be something that works. This may just go, to the moon or into the depths of the earth. We don't know. But as of now, 625s is where it's holding. Let's jump to a lower time frame here. And weekly, pushing into this level. Pushed back over this level. So $6 is where it kind of is holding right now. Obvious level, just marking them up. And then what's the other one? The daily chart. Let's look at where these ATRs are on the daily. So right now it's in the middle. Full ATR, full bullish is over 650. Where the idea starts is 637. Bearish is at 60. Is that 608? Looks like 608. And then full bearish is under the 593. So it's kind of just in the middle right now. And you can see that the labels up here that are telling you where the prices are. ATR on this one is only 29 cents as well. Okay. So that's all of those. And we're seeing it come on back up to the 627s. And the thing is, I just let the idea transition. So if it's bullish on the 15-minute, I'm like, okay, I'll get in on this one. And then I'll look for the hour and the, 1 hour and the what am I thinking about? The daily to confirm that this move can continue upwards. But that's after the first 30 minutes, because look how it's kind of chopping around here with 7 million shares traded. MLGO is also coming back up. It never had catalyst. It's not cancerous on the day. Trump stock still going down. Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out. We'll see what INFN wants to do. And if anything else pops up, I'll definitely let you guys know in the Discord. I'm about to jump and get into my morning meeting. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Definitely. Mike D said he made 345 on Nike put. So you praying on Nike's downfall. I see what you're doing. But anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're going to continue trading for the day, definitely keep your head on a swivel. It is Friday. It's a natural sell-off day. So, be quick. Be quick, because people take their profits on today. Next week is a short week with July the 4th. I don't know if y'all going to be doing any barbecuing or whatnot, but, we're going to get it in. But that is it for me today. And as always, I will see you guys next week on Monday morning. Anything else? Large cap trading has actually been going fairly well for me. Mid caps, same thing, but mid caps I don't see them as much as large caps and small caps, but still looking for them. But yeah, that's everything for today. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.